If you are still tailoring your resume to every single job posting that you are doing, or you're split attention between LinkedIn, Indeed, Monster, ZipRecruiter, and all the job boards out there, this is going to be the video for you. Those of you that don't know me, I never went to college. I hit six figures by 23. I then took a 2-year break from the workforce entirely, came back to a 65% pay cut, and since then have quadrupled my salary and achieved 9 promotions in 13 years. As a career coach, I've helped over 400 people since 2023 hit 97% of their goals and boost salaries by over $3 million. My name is Zach. My systems work. And today we are going to dispel all of your common resume myths in one video. So this past Friday in the Promoted Career Acceleration community, we had our group coaching session. And it was really led and driven by one particular topic, which was around resume crafting. And the discussion started by one of the members of the community saying, hey, I'm crafting my resume to every single job posting. It's taking me 15 to 20 minutes per application. Like, what am I doing wrong? And they hadn't made their way through the full masterclass portion yet. So here was kind of the short and sweet of kind of the key things that we had to focus on. So there's your first myth, is tailoring your resume to every single job posting. If you are doing this, you are wasting so much time, especially in the day and age of AI. So what you should do is use AI to analyze 3 to 5 job descriptions, for which you could say, hey, I need you to analyze 5 job descriptions, identify the keywords, key skills, key technology, and key phrasing, and then identify at the end what is the most consistent and repeated across the ones that I provide you. This is how you can then tailor your resume one time for most of the jobs out there. And it will be 80 to 90% qualified for hitting the varying language and the things that you need to represent. Now, what you want to do is tailor a unique cover letter for each job. And the way that you do this is typically, if you think about most application processes, they start off with you creating your account, and then you upload your resume, and then it parses it. And then you have maybe a couple screens around, kind of nexting, these sorts of things until you get to the supplemental documentation phase. So this is where what I do is take the job posting, put it over in LinkedIn or put it over in ChatGPT or your AI of choice with the cover letter and say, hey, I need you to write a unique cover letter based on this job description and my resume for this specific role. And I want you to demonstrate blank. Insert the additional context. So this additional context could be things that couldn't fit on your resume due to the 2-page limit. This could be things about you as a character or as a professional that drive you. This could be things that maybe you're transitioning careers and you want to highlight what's transferable, etc. Okay. This is going to be sort of that winning ticket for rounding out that last 10 to 20% that isn't captured in the single resume. But AI can spit out a completely tailored and unique cover letter to you. The key is identifying the context that you want to put into the cover letter and put that in a copy paste fashion into that prompt every single time. It writes that while you get to the portion of filling out information. That then gets you to the point that you then copy the output into a Word document, upload that Word document, cover letter, boom, call it a day. Okay, very, very, very simple. And this should cut your application time to 2 minutes each, maybe less. Now, you might say, well, it doesn't parse my resume well. This gets into the second thing. Okay, that was the common thing that we discussed is ATS proof formatting. Very simple. It's the boring looking resume that wins. It should just be black text on a white piece of paper with no columns, no graphics, no icons, and clear section headers. Okay. Those are the keys to successful parsing. If you are spending more than 30 seconds per application uploading your resume from the time that it autofills, from it plugs in that information to when you say it's good, it parsed well, your resume is formatted incorrectly. Okay. This is why I've used the same template for all of my clients for over 4 years now, because it ATS parses well, it's consistent, and it's simple. And I vary it with 3 different fonts, okay, which are Garamond, Gil Sans Nova Light, and Hadassah Friedlander. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But those are the three fonts that I commonly use. And it all depends on what type of personality you want. But since from an ATS perspective, you need to keep it so simple looking, you'll stand out by having a font that no one else is using. Okay. So to sum this up, you're going to use AI to analyze 3 to 5 job descriptions, tailor your resume once, then uniquely write a cover letter per application, and making sure that your resume is in a template that is ATS proof from a formatting perspective. All right. That's simple. That money. That is what I want you to understand. And you can get access to all of this in the link down below in the promoted career acceleration school community. You get the masterclass. You also get my interview masterclass, salary negotiation, my custom GPTs, AI tools, and right now a growing community of over 55 professionals with bi-weekly or semi-weekly coaching sessions as well. Okay. So the other thing that came up was this person had been in their specific role, that line of work, for over 7 years. And they were like, it's very difficult for me to keep only 10 bullet points in my latest position and even my resume to 2 pages, because they also had some relevant work prior to the 7 years in their current line of work that did transfer very well. And so the key things that you need to understand here are, it's a good thing if you can't fit everything on your resume, because that is then when I mentioned that additional context on the cover letter, that's great use case of your cover letter, is that it adds to the resume. It doesn't summarize it. When you don't repeat a single thing from your resume on your cover letter, it just looks like you have an endless bag of achievements. Okay. That's what we're looking for here. So on your resume, don't feel bad for only keeping the top 10 or top 8 bullet points for a given position and removing other ones. Keep those for the cover letter. Okay. Now, the other thing is the 2-page one. And so this is where you might need to make the decision of a time constraint or a relevant work experience constraint. So you want to be showcasing only the most recent 15 years or less, generally speaking, because anything 15 years ago for most of us is just not relevant anymore. And then the other side of the equation is maybe you've successfully transitioned into a new line of work for 5 or more years, and what you were doing before just doesn't translate very well, and it's just not relevant. Okay. So this is how you can keep to your 2 pages or less. Now, something else that came up is kind of resume versus LinkedIn. The way I look at this is everything on your resume should always be on your LinkedIn. But one of the things that we really honed in on was your LinkedIn headline. Okay. So what you want to lead with is the type of position you are targeting, something that it relates to your unique value proposition. So, like, how do you differentiate yourself from the other people that you've worked with or in your line of work? And then a nice big outcome or a credibility hook. So a measurable impact, a notable achievement, something of that nature. Okay. And then the last kind of big reframe that we shifted to, and I kicked off this video, was saying, if you are spending so much time on multiple different job searching platforms, maybe you're like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to clear the boards on LinkedIn and Indeed and ZipRecruiter and so many other job boards. I honestly point people towards LinkedIn as your one-stop shop, because it can be your resume on your profile. Your resume can be added to the profile. You can also build your portfolio there through the projects section, through your featured section or content. By also posting content, you can build authority, showcase the things that you're actively doing, and also make yourself sort of a thought leader. Your intention with content on LinkedIn, for most of you, is not to be a content creator or an influencer. It's just to show companies how you think, what you're working on, and sort of where you think that the job industry or line of work that you're doing is going. And then it's also going to be your moneymaker for networking and positioning. Okay. This was sort of the major reframes that came to light in this discussion this past Friday. All right. So the things that I really want you to take away from this is you should not be burning hours and hours and hours every week tailoring your resume to every single job description. If you're doing that, then you have a broken system and it needs to change. Okay. You need to look at a job description cluster. You then need to analyze those for how you tailor your resume. You then do a gap analysis to say, hey, with my newly written resume tailored to the 5 job descriptions, what is missing? You get your gaps, you answer gaps, you provide that to the AI, and you rinse and repeat over and over and over again. All right. You want to be outcome first driven. Your public posts are a place to build authority, to show that you're coachable, to show that you're forward thinking, you're system driven, etc. Do not format your resume in a fancy design. It is just unnecessary. So this is something that I wanted to share in this week's offer engine video, is because I just found it to be so relevant, and so many common myths that were debunked in a single coaching call that is now leading this person on to getting more results, getting more interviews in such a short amount of time. And they have access now to my custom GPT, my hybrid AI writing toolkit, my ATS friendly formats, all of that, which is available inside the Promoted Career Acceleration community, which is linked down below. I appreciate you watching this video. I hope that it helps you to get seen, get paid, and get promoted.